Zahara was once considered as the best singers of all time. Based on the books, her music sold over thousands of copies and made millions of rands. Sadly, after some time, she broke the news saying that she never made any money from her music sales. The record label was the one which was capitalizing on it all along. She broke numerous records which led her being recognized by very famous people. Yet she was left broke. Her house and furniture was taken away from her. If that wasn't enough, she was also privately pressured to keep her so-called perfect public persona. This was too much for her, to a point where she decided to drink her problems away. It was seen on multiple videos circulating on the internet of her drunk on multiple occasions, and she quickly became a laughing stock. She tried asking for help, but no one took her serious. Sadly, after some few months, she was announced dead. Her story was quickly snuck under the rug, leaving so many people not knowing what really happened. Fans started asking questions. What really happened? Who stole her money? Did the record label have a hand in her bad publicity? Why everyone was not willing to help? Well, in order for you to understand this whole situation, we have to go back where it all started. Growing up in a family of 7 children, Zahara was the sixth born, raised in a deeply religious family and musical household. Her father was a pastor, and her mother was a homemaker. Zahara's love for music was evident from a young age. She began singing in her church choir, where her raw vocal talent was nurtured.
They want me to sing every day.
Oh, because you're that good.
Yeah, and I did not understand. Like,
Yes.
I was 6.
Yes.
So I ran away. I was like, no, I'm gay. Every day. So I fainted. That's fainties.
Despite the financial difficulties her family faced, Zahara's upbringing was marked by a sense of community and faith, both of which played a significant role in shaping her artistry. Her early years were characterized by simplicity. She walked to school barefoot, often without proper school resources. Despite the hardships, she was known for her determination and focus. Music became her escape, her way of coping with challenges that came with growing up in a struggling household. Zahara's first instrument was her voice, but she later taught herself to play guitar at the age of 13. Despite growing up in a region with limited resources, her passion for music was unstoppable. She spent countless hours practicing, drawing inspiration from nature and her everyday surroundings.
Take me back to the first moment you saw a guitar, you picked it up, because you were self-taught, ne?
Yeah.
How do you even do that, Sol? How do you teach yourself to play guitar, bro?
Hey,
At
dude.
6 years old?
Bro, you must be a prodigy.
I took a gallon of oil and then obviously I put the strings because I saw other people, our forefathers and everybody at the village that they were doing that. So I put it together and then I started playing. But when I started playing, I was old and then I started playing with Loliwe at home with my mom.
As she turned 16, Zahara started performing locally, taking her guitar along to open mic events, small gatherings, and street performances. She was a very shy girl, but once she began to sing, her voice silenced crowds. She performed songs that she wrote herself, often expressing the struggles and beauty of life in the rural areas. Word began to spread about the girl with an angelic voice who sang with so much heart, and soon people began to recognize her as she performed on the street of East London, a coastal city not far from her home. Her street performances gained more attention as passers-by were drawn to her soulful voice and poetic lyrics. One day, while performing at a busy street corner, Zahara was approached by a music producer, Robbie Malinga. He was captivated by the raw talent and offered to introduce her to the music industry. Although skeptical at first, Zahara accepted the offer, realizing that it could be the opportunity she had long time dreamed of. Her sound, a fusion of Afro soul, traditional Xhosa melodies, and folk influences, was unlike anything on the South African music scene at the time. She poured her soul into every note, writing songs that spoke of love, life, and struggles that faced by ordinary people. The authenticity of her music, combined with her incredible vocal ability, quickly caught the attention of major players in the music industry. Soon after, Zahara signed her first record deal with Tears Records, a label co-owned by DJ Sbu and Thembi Nkosi Ncinza. Her debut album, Loliwe was released in 2011 and it became an instant hit.
My mom used to tell me stories about Loliwe. Loliwe is a train. So that their forefathers came to Joburg to look for work and their fathers came. But some of them, they did not come back. And then the people that are left at the village, they are left with the hope that their fathers, they will come back.
Oh, yes.
They were left with that hope.
Yeah.
Every time they see Loliwe with the train, their fathers, they are not there. So bahlale bekhala.
Yeah.
So that's why there's part where I say because it was all about that. But for me, it's about a journey. You know, all of us in life, we want to go somewhere. Our destinies are not the same.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like, even if you can take a Gautrain train, let's take a Gautrain train. Even if you go into Rosebank or Midrand or Pretoria or Sandton, but you're in the same train.
Yeah.
But don't try to cut your journey and try to run around the carriages. It will get to your stop. Wait for your stop and you'll meet your destiny.
Loliwe became a nationwide hit, cementing her place as South Africa's new music sensation. Within 72 hours of its release, the album went gold, and within 17 days, it achieved double platinum status. By the end of its run, the album had sold over 400,000 copies, a remarkable feat in the South African music industry. The track Loliwe became one of the most played songs on the South African radio stations. The album also won numerous awards, including multiple summers in categories such as Best Newcomer, Best Female Artist, and Album of the Year. Its success marked Zahara as a voice of a generation, capable of speaking to everyday struggles and dreams of ordinary South Africans. Following the massive success of Loliwe, Zahara released The Beginning Live in 2012, a live DVD and album that captured her powerful live performances. The album was recorded during one of her concerts in Johannesburg and showcased her raw vocal talent in a live setting. The live album featured renditions of songs from Loliwe and new unreleased tracks, giving her fans a deeper appreciation of her music. The Beginning Live also achieved remarkable success, selling over 50,000 copies within weeks of its release and reaching platinum status. The album demonstrated that Zahara's live performances was as captivating as her studio recordings.
Let me tell you something. When I got money, you must remember when I came here, I didn't even have a bank account.
Yeah.
So I had a bank account. When I got my royalty money, guess what I did? Bought myself a house.
Oh, nice. This one?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
wow.
2012.
Wow.
It's a beautiful home.
April.
Wow.
And then this is what I did. I bought everything cash that you see inside there.
Smart.
And you got a
Cash.
beautiful house, eh?
Thank you.
Wow.
Since
Got a
then,
waterfall. It's
Yeah.
Fast forward in 2013, she released her studio album Pendula, translating to Answer in English. Pendula was an album filled with emotional depth and spiritual reflections. The album also featured collaborations with international artists, including the legendary South African jazz musician Hugh Masekela on the song Bambelele. Pendula quickly reached platinum status, selling over 100,000 copies in South Africa. The album was well received critically and commercially, and it solidified Zahara's ability to sustain her success beyond her debut. At the 2014 South African Music Awards, Pendula won Best Selling Album and Best Female Artist. This showed that Zahara was quite unstoppable, and it was just the beginning.
my best performance is when I sang for Tata Mandela.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
And it wasn't a performance.
Yes.
And I couldn't even believe it when they said he asked for me. And I remember this is what he said when I not in his lounge, dude. I was in his bedroom, dude.
Wow.
This is what he said. I'm going to try and mimic him.
Okay.
You are a special girl. And South Africa is blessed to have you. And wherever you go, may the stars upon you, may they shine. And I was like, okay, drop the mic, I'm done, I'm blessed. What are you going to say?
What's Mandela's favorite song of yours?
In darkest Zulu yandilandela, in darkest Zulu yandilandela, utegwa
After the success of Pendula, Zahara returned in 2015 with her third album, Country Girl. This album reflected Zahara's journey of personal growth and self-discovery, with themes centered around empowerment, resilience, and staying true to one's roots. Songs like Himali and God in a Valley were standouts like her previous albums. Country Girl quickly achieved gold status within 20 hours of its release, and later it went platinum. It was another testament to Zahara's immense popularity and her ability to consistently deliver music that resonated with the wide audience. Although the album didn't break as many records as Loliwe, it cemented her status as one of South Africa's most successful musicians.
But how good was it, like, you know, when you were at your prime, like the summers, everybody giving you all these accolades, people loving you, media wants you, it's just crazy, interview after interview, shows after shows.
I did not understand that. I did not even want to do interviews because I'm very shy, I promise you. That's why I don't go out. I don't go anywhere. Then I have to be on TV and people have to ask me a question. It wasn't about that. I just wanted them to just let me just do my albums and I'll just go. Don't ask me questions. Don't ask me anything. Just listen to the music and then just let me be.
Yeah.
Now the fame of being on TV or whatever, it doesn't entice me. I'm not here for that.
Yeah.
Zahara's fourth album, Umgodi, was released in 2017. The album was highly anticipated, and its release marked a significant point in her career. The title track, Umgodi, which translates to Mine in English, spoke to the struggles that she went through.
So I'm like, we're supposed to be, this is where I'm going, not under the bridge. He went under the bridge. So under the bridge, one fagger pepper spray, and that's by pepper spray, go, long one fagger spray. And he went to the bushes. And Ella said, little did he know. Upon fagging our sister, my big sister stays. When he was there, I begged him for my life. He even took up the gun. He took out a gun. Ngambe ukuthi butwami yabona andinangxaki soze ndithethe noma ndikubone yena ndayazi ndikubonile and ngakwazi ba ngakutrace kuphi and I will know ba uhlala kuphi kodwa ndiyacela spare my life. It can't be ukuthi uthi undalele lento ndambheka ebeke umbukwelihlathi lingakangazanga sekhaya lili did he know. So he went ebhutini esithi andithi ungifakile andiboni kahle. My face was kinking ngathi nzofa. I couldn't breathe.
Sure.
So he went ebhutini. Xa efike ebhutini, I guess why was called what? Oh, okay. Well, I think why was protector cause ndaqoma okay into leyo thatha ebhutini ngoba unegun, une-pepper spray. It's either uzenza uzothatha i-condom or whatever. I didn't care. I got out of the car. Amehlo ame itchy like that. I went into the bushes and I've got scars, 2 scars here. My sisters, they will tell you. I feel like the expansion of Umkoti. I feel like people were just after me for nothing. And you know, when you are running and your enemies behind you. So whatever, you try and find a space where you can hide. So Umkoti lo. Because you find a pit, you just go there. So without calculating,
so you'd rather go into a hole and hide without knowing how you're going to get out.
When least when ulibele, because the timing of God is timing of God, it's not our timing. Our timing, we want things to happen today. And the timing of God, if you are not ready for a thing, God will not give you now.
Umgodi achieved gold status on the day of its release and went platinum just 6 hours later, a record-breaking feat in South Africa. This album's success demonstrated Zahara's lasting appeal and her ability to evolve musically while staying true to her core message. Umgodi sold over 150,000 copies. The following years following the release of her album Umgodi were marked by personal and professional challenges that threatened to overshadow her career. Zahara faced financial woes, addiction struggles, public scandals, and ongoing battle with her personal demons. Around those times, rumors began circulating about Zahara's financial troubles. Despite her immense success, she claimed that she was not receiving the money she was owed from the record label.
Fana niyahamba niyoplaga phambi kwezi stations naninika amagama wazo. Samro,
Yeah.
Share Public, near West Universal, near Nasetears, because wherever TK is, no DJ's move. You go there. If you really care about me fighting alone, I don't have money to pay for the lawyers. My money is sitting there. You know, the money that is sitting there can actually, even when I come back, at our village. But you guys, you only intense about what you see on TV. Yes, Sila.
That's true. But you know what?
DJ Sibonga amazi Loliwe. UTK Nciza akamazi Loliwe. Nosinhlanhla abamazi Loliwe.
She accused Yes Records of not paying her royalties, and this marked the beginning of a bitter public dispute with these guys, DJ Sbu and Thembinkosi. Zahara alleged that despite the millions her album had sold, she was left struggling to make ends meet, a situation that many attributed to industry exploitation. And the only person who seemed to be very loud about this situation is this guy, the comedian, Skumba.
Ara naye ngaba bamhlatshela imali mara TS ingazoyenza uZahara kanje hayi akabasube ngifuna abasube akabasube uZahara bathi imali kaZahara Loliwe itinti ngale kadara tithula uthula imali yakho bayithatha uthula imali nomntwana basile abo TK ubona baloko bathake in bavaze malako Zahara bathi imali yami phuza la No, basile Zahara ngabasuwe. No, uZahara ngabasuwe. Abasubu. Ya se America ya. Babizwa ngoba monipsi hasil. Sine inkinga eyiserious la. Imali kaZahara iphi? Uright akakhulumele ethuneni kuthiwa yazi kumnandi ukukhuluma usaphila. Ungathi ngememorial service kuthiwa bayikhi imali yomntanami. Can you imagine Zahara Shon, ne? Bese ifamily yakhe ithi because it's a thing about South Africans like thina sithatha izinto ngasiyadlala. Ashona lo mntana abantu. Ashona ngamampela. Memorial service khulu ikhazi nakhe wane ngabasabi and yapha ke ndimele umntana sekhaya imali yakhe ikiwe ke ngobutata abahlela apha phambili bayakhala leso sikhathi umntana abantu uyakhala uthakana ma uthi bamnika amanye inyanga uthi bamnika ama 10 ushuza akushanga mina 15,000 after aqula kanje yaziqatara ibhlunga njana washa iqatara.
What Skumba said on this clip actually seemed too good to be true. But there are some things that Zahara said in the past which made me have so many questions. I mean, if you bought the house and the furniture cash with the royalty money, then what money is she talking about?
Do you believe that after the fallout with the label, they had a hand with the bad publicity?
Ndiyaphuma apha ndingena indawo kodwa into enza kuxela yona mna. The reason why I never came out that I've been robbed by money is because I was scared that ngizovalelwa my music everywhere. How did it happen? Try now and Google my music or try and download my music. You won't find it.
Spotify,
Loliwe,
whatever.
No,
Yeah,
you won't. You only find Mngodi.
This is actually very complicated than I thought. For us to understand the situation better, we also have to know how the record label works. I've made a video diving deep on this topic, so feel free to check it later. Record labels play a crucial role in the music industry, acting as intermediaries between musicians and the commercial side of the music. They help artists by funding their projects, managing distribution, and promoting their music. The relationship between record labels and musicians is often formalized throughout a contract, which outlines the responsibilities of both parties and how money is handled. When a record label signs a rapper or any artist, they typically provide an advance, a sum of money that helps the artist cover living expenses, recording costs, and other expenses related to creating music. This advance is essentially a loan, which the artist must repay throughout their future earnings. In return for funding, the label usually takes a percentage of the artist's income, which come from the album sales, streaming, tours, and merchandise. Labels also handle production and often give access to top-notch producers, engineers, and industry connection to help the artist succeed. This is where things get tricky. There is something called recoupment. The money the artist earns from their music first goes towards repaying the advance before the artist starts receiving profits. For an example, if a label gives an artist 100,000 rand, the artist won't start earning royalties until the label had made back that 100,000 rand. Once the advance is recouped, the artist and label split the profit according to the terms of the contract. The royalties are often split between the label and the artist, but the exact percentage depends on the contract. Major labels usually takes a larger share. Tragically, Zahara's journey came to a sudden and heartbreaking end in 2023. After years of battling with her demons, Zahara passed away under circumstances that shook the nation. Her death was a devastating blow to the South African music industry, and it left fans and fellow musicians in mourning. While the exact cause of her death was not immediately confirmed, it was widely believed that her years of battling addiction and stress had taken a toll on her health. In the wake of her passing, tributes poured in from across the country and beyond. Many remembered Zahara not for only her incredible music talent, but also for her strength and resilience in the face of adversity. Despite her struggles, Zahara remained a beloved figure who touched the lives of millions through her music. Her songs, filled with messages of hope, perseverance, and love, continued to resonate with fans long after her death. Okay, this video was not to shade Zahara's name in any shape or form. My main intention of creating this video was actually to share the side of the story that was lastly shown on the internet. It was always alcohol this, alcohol that, Zahara this, Zahara that. They actually never showed us how big Zahara is. And according to my own research, she's actually one of the greatest human beings on earth. So who is wrong between Zahara and DJ Sbu? I'm just gonna save that for a future video, not now. Because one thing I learned from researching about this video is actually that we must give people flowers that they deserve while they're still alive.